this is not about just shitting on you. I feel like you've already fallen trap to the woke culture yourself. Meaning you believe in every agenda that's set out there. Like you now are that guy that when you hear that porn's bad for you, you believe it right away. You're that guy that when you hear this happen, you believe what you're told. Like you believe everything because it's the easiest thing to do is to just believe the sort of like other side of things. And I'm seeing a lot of young people do that. Really young fucking people. Teenagers and shit. That are getting all political now. They run their fucking mouth all the time. It's like, who are you? You're a fucking kid. Shut your fucking mouth. Go to school and shut up. You know, you have no say over anything. You can't even say what you do in your own household. You shouldn't be able to. You should be told when to fucking go to bed and what to do. But then by the time they get to be like 20 and they're raging against their fucking parents and their fucking upbringing, their fucking school, and they're watching all these news items. They know everything on social media and this and that. They feel like they've got to just believe everything they see and hear because it's the thing to do. And Alex, you just keep barking, dude. You're not bringing anything to this channel. I'm going to warn you one more time, dude. If you can't follow a conversation, you can't add nothing, you're just going to bark emoji all night, then get out of here. You add nothing to this. You know, I've had to fight for you not being a retarded human being, Ramirez, and you just proved me wrong. It's like you add nothing to this stuff. You don't even, but you don't, the thing is, you don't even have a kid, you fucking retard. Like, you don't have a kid. Why are you plotting ahead? You're political in your brain. You don't even have a fucking kid, dude. You're already like preparing in your mind, like, when I have a kid, he's only going to watch, like, dude, how about get a kid first, dude? Larry says, if porn can break you, then you kind of built weak. Agree with that. There are way bigger things to worry about. Exactly. Exactly, Larry. You know what I'm saying, man. Like, people will say, well, porn's addictive. And it makes people addicted to it. As far as I'm concerned, it's a good addiction. In my opinion. I think it's one of on the better side of things. Unless you're mentally weak and you turn into a fag because you see two guys on, then you shouldn't be watching two guys. Like, or here's the other argument, right? They'll say, well, porn gives an unhealthy viewpoint on women. Porn gives an unhealthy viewpoint on women. I don't buy that. When you watch porn, you know it is a porn girl you're watching. You know this is a specific niche thing that you're watching so that you can pleasure yourself to something because you're lacking in something, right? Even I admit I'm lacking in something that I feel the need to watch. But the fact is, it's business to me. I don't watch these women to really have an emotional connection to them. I watch them so I can handle what I got to handle, and then I'm done. And that's where it ends. Would I shoot my shot with Sarah Lover? Hell yeah, I would shoot my shot. Why the fuck not? But am I sitting around thinking about her, crying, writing love letters? Hell no. There's a realism about it. I mean, okay, and I don't say how old I am, but even at my age now, right? Okay, you might say, well, you're an older guy, you know, you've been around, you know the game. Even if we go back when I was the youngest, the first time I ever watched it, the first time I ever saw, when I was a kid, I knew what it was. I knew what it was, even as a kid brain. I knew what I was watching was supposed to be a stimulation performance. I knew that as a child. How did I know it as a kid and adults can't even figure it out? I must be on that much of a higher level mentally then. Like even as a kid, I knew what they were. I knew it was a performance. I didn't sit around going, oh God, this is ruining my opinion on girls. Did nothing for me. Didn't ruin anything for me. If anything, it made me like girls more. Look what these girls are capable of them, and then when they want to be, man. People that get mentally broken by it are made of weak ass shit. End of story. You don't need porn to survive. You need food and water and shelter. That's it. You don't even need sex to survive life. Sex is an action. It's a verb. It's just something you do. It's a fucking habit. It ain't a way of life. You don't die if you don't get laid. You die if you don't have food, water, or protection of shelter. That's it. People are retarded. But you know, man, you gotta get, if you don't have a girlfriend, people make fun of you. If you can't handle being made fun of because you don't get every girl you want, you're weak and maybe you don't belong on this planet, man. No wonder so many people are ending themselves. They can't deal with it. When you play hard to get. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, some do, some don't like it. I mean, the thing is, different things stimulate people. Do you know what I mean? It's like the Scarlett Johansson theory. Every guy that I've ever had, like almost every single guy I've ever heard, they all say she's hot. They all say ScarJo is the hottest, one of the hottest women they've ever seen. She's one of the hottest actors of all time. I hear almost every guy talk about that. And I sit back and go, she doesn't do it for me. I don't like her. They almost don't want to believe it. They're like, what are you talking about, dude? Well, you can't, you're no way. I swear to God. I'm not just saying that to be different. Scarlett Johansson does not do nothing for me. She's not my style. But like all these other guys, they get in line and have to play the whole like kumbaya. Oh, it's ScarJo. And then the one guy, if you say you don't, they're like, well, no, who do you like? Well, personally, I think Gal Gadot's hotter than her. Gal Gadot? What are you talking about? No, she's not. She's not hot. Yeah, ScarJo. Well, not to me. I'm not afraid to say what I like. It's a Sarah Love thing. It's like, oh, Sarah Love's ugly. What are you talking about, dude? She's ugly. Not to me. And you're not going to budge me. You're not going to make me flip and go, oh, you're right. Fuck her. I don't like her. Fuck, you guys are right. Nah, man. I'll stick my ground on it. We have more whores than ever. It's always Israel pushing this shit. It won't affect the strong. Them dumb bitches always get infected. Can ask a girl her body count. Bitch always stays shut. Lies when in 1960 was found upon to have more than 2 bodies. Again, to me, this is the same cliche we always hear, though. Look. Okay. I'll give you an example, right? I remember when I was really young in school. I was on the school bus, and I remember I can't remember this girl specifically, his name or anything, but I remember there was a girl, and I mean, at the time, I was probably like 12. And the kids were calling her a slut, right? And at that time, I'm thinking like, slut? I mean, like, how's this girl a slut? I mean, she's like 12. I mean, like, it's like, and then it's like the story is, well, she did this with a boy, and then the girl gets the reputation going, and and then the girls turn on her. Oh, she's gross. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? You know how that bullying, like and a lot of times the girl didn't even do what they said she did. But everybody jumps on the bandwagon and starts, that happens. It's like, that girl didn't do that. Like, I mean, people jump all over the easy narrative and the cliche. You hear something, you go with it. It's an easy thing to do, to go with what everybody's saying. Sometimes it's not even real. So, like, for example, women, every woman's a whore now. That's not true, though. Not every woman is a whore. They're not. What defines a whore? What magical number is the whore mark? Where it's like, whore, is it 5, 10, 15, 20? I'll even go one. I think there's women that I think that are virgins that are more whores. Hear me out on this. I don't think it's always about, it's more of a mindset, man. It's more of a mindset. A girl could be a virgin and still be a whore. If she's got things, you don't know what she's thinking in her head. You can be a whore on your thoughts. Not even your actions can make you a fucking whore. So, you see what I'm saying? There's no mythical number. I mean, if you say, okay, this girl openly admits she slept with 1,000 men. There you have your mythical whore. That is a whore. But if a random girl, let's say you meet a girl, you like her, and you poke her, and you say, "How many have you been with? What's your number? What's your number?" And she don't want to tell you. She's like, "Oh, I don't really want to." You know, what's it matter, right? You're pushing that agenda. You want to get that fucking number out of that girl, right? You're the one pushing it. And what happens is, I bet a lot of these beta little faggot dudes, when they get that number, they can't deal with it. So she goes to I love you, you know, you're my dream girl. And then when you get that number, now she's a whore and like, I don't want to be with you. Which is it, guys? Is she a whore or not, man? To be honest, I don't even want to know a girl's body count when I really think about it, because I'd rather almost not know. Just so I can't be thinking about it. But you guys demand the number, right? I need to know. Sometimes you got to duke it out with the dogs. You mean the buddies? Yeah. I mean, sometimes guys got to throw down. I mean, if it comes to it, throw down. Get it out of your system. Move on. But it also is like, what are you throwing down about? Like it better be something worthwhile, because if it's something stupid, it's a waste of time. I'm seeing it too. The woke culture is taking over. It is taking over, but it doesn't have to in your mind, right? See, the thing is, you know why it takes over? Because people are afraid to be individualist in their brain. People are afraid about individualism, meaning like if every person stayed an individualist, this stuff wouldn't happen. It's more about insecurity in human beings than in anything, man. Individualism is where stuff is why, like, that's why, like, with Caveman Wife guy, that guy is so insecure that he has to go over to YouTube and do sensationalistic gore and retarded content because he is that insecure with, he can't be an individualist. He can't be an individualist and make up his own mind. He has to be that guy that is being, to him, it's thought-provoking, fucking cataclysmic mentality of, I'm going to be the guy that goes on there and exposes shit for what it really is. Why are people not listening to me? Why are people not believing me? You want to know why? Because you're vile. Look at the side of you. You're not even well kempt. You can't even shave. You don't even know how to shave your face. You don't even know how to keep yourself cleanly. So why would anybody follow anything you say? Any mantra that you have? You won't even cut your hair out of some fear of being exposed for what you look like in a mugshot 12 years ago. You're hiding from your own past. You're not a rebel. You're not a rebel at all. You're a preening puppet for a sector of people that like gore and violence and hate monging. That's all you are. You're not coming back on my show because you're so insecure you had to take digs at me in a chat room when it had nothing to do with me, retard. I don't watch any news. Well, you don't need to watch the news. You apparently just watch the internet enough to make up. You can't make up your own mind. You believe what you're told about porn being bad. You believe the agenda that's out there. Useless says, I voted for Trump, and this motherfucker is a shill for Israel now. Oh, you're having voting fucking regrets. Another voter regretter. He can't walk it back now. Better to plan now than when it's too late. Well, it may be too late for you anyway. You don't know. Definitely don't let your kids watch shows when it came out after 2000. And here's another guy, Charles Smith, who doesn't have kids. I mean, Charles Smith, you're doing this to yourself, man. You're not reading the room. You see Charles, you see the mentality I'm having tonight. You're not following me. If you can't follow what I'm saying in here right now, you're not reading the room. You're a guy, you're a grown man that you have 2 cats, right? Your cats are your children. You said that. You have no ability to speak about what any kid should watch. You don't have kids. You haven't lived. You're not. Go have your kids and then say this. You and Logan, same deal. Why don't you actually have kids first and then say this? Instead of, trying to come into the chat, be a big shot like, duh, don't let your kids watch anything. It's an agenda past 2000. I would advise you to never have kids. Might be a better idea for you. Good addiction, I wouldn't say that, but if porn is hindering your ability to other shit, I see it as a weak-minded to do. Yeah, what I'm saying is, how is it bad if it gives pleasure? I don't see how that's bad. I don't know about it. Raise your hand. Have any of you ever, well, you all know I watch Girl, right? That's my gimmick. Lesbians, right? I can tell you right now, I have never watched a lesbian porn and then shut it, and then after it was over, after I handled my business, I've never cried and hated myself. Or I've never shut it off and said, oh my God, I'm such a bad person. I've never been affected by something I just watched. I mean, I don't get mentally broken by pleasure. Why other guys do? I don't know. Maybe they're gay. I don't know. Maybe they're hiding something. Don't get it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, so it is what it is, but I got mine as well, and I'm sticking with it. You're not changing me on it. I think, I'll say it again. If you can't handle it, don't watch it. And if you need help that bad, get your help and stop. Some guys do. They get help and they stop watching it. I've never felt compelled, like I'm going to die if I don't watch this porn today. I admitted that when I was a little younger, I had some days where I pushed it a little far. But it didn't, affect my life. It didn't, ruin my life. Did it cause me a little bit of, soreness and discomfort on my cock? Yeah. Did I rub myself raw? Sure. Did I have a couple of days where I didn't piss right? Maybe. But I wouldn't go to the hospital for it? Oh my God, porn's ruining me. Porn ruined me. I can't handle watching it, but I do. Wimp. It's clear they are pushing that business, the OnlyFans and shit. You can argue it's with the bot educational system, lack of parents. They instill the horse behavior, and corn is the result since bitches sell their soul for the bag. When you say they are pushing that, what do you mean? Because if you're talking about the educational system, there's no school that's telling girls to get on OnlyFans, right? Like, I'm not in school. I would assume, like, I mean, there's no school that's doing a class saying, girls, by the way, you need to become whores on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? If like, for example, if like a girl goes to her guidance counselor and she says, you know, I'm thinking about when I turn 18 doing an OnlyFans. And the counselor sits back and says, oh yeah, do that. For sure. That would be pushing. But if they're like, well, you know, or is that, you know, if they're giving like, hey, are you sure that would be something you should do? I mean, at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, when you get, it's 18 almost everywhere, right? Almost everywhere it's like 18. When you're 18, you're allowed to do whatever you want with that. If a girl's 18, she wants to do it, she's allowed to do it. Why she would do it, that's something that she's got to live with. That's a decision she's making for what it who knows? It may be that her parents are fuck ups, her parents abuse. It could be anything. It could be a bad reaction to something that's happened. It could just be that the girl's a sexual person and she just gets off on the idea of doing it in front of men, strangers. We don't really know what's in the head for sure. But in my opinion, I don't see it as big a problem as some people make it out to be. I just don't. I think like it's just one aspect of something somebody might be doing, and no one makes you watch it. No one's making you go to that OnlyFans and subscribe. No one's making you pay for it. That's a habit, a hobby. It's something you would do on your own. If you feel the desire to do it, you're going to do it. Guys get fucking lonely. They're just a lot of guys out there in life, even married ones, they get lonely, they get bored, and they're out there in internet land looking for something. They're looking for that young woman to be their new fucking muse. You know, and I found an OnlyFans model. She's 18. And oh my God, I'm 35 or I'm 45 or I'm 50 and I got a wife. But this girl's young and I feel young when I talk to her. You know what I mean? And the girl knows that. These girls, oh my God, it's so obvious. Like these girls, these cam models, and we talked about this, they already know the minute they log on, they know that these men, these guys that are entering these chat rooms, these men that are watching, paying them tokens, whatever these men are the victims in a lot of ways. The men are the victim, and they're not victims, but they're the mental victim. The man is not the physical victim, the mental victim. The mental victim is the guy that already knows he's giving his money to this chick, and this chick doesn't like him. The guy is the mental victim. The woman is not the mental victim. If anything, she's the abuser, the cam model. And a lot of guys try to spin a narrative that somehow the woman that's on there has got problems and she's being abused and she doesn't realize it. In a lot of cases, the problem is, no, the woman's very aware of what she's doing, and the victims are the guys in their fucking chat. But guys can't handle that. They want to be Billy Badass. Be like, oh no, she must be abused. Why would she do that? Why is she going on there? She must be like, no, bro. Whether you like it or not, swallow your ego. Some of these women know exactly what they're doing. And they love every second of it. Bottom line. But the ego of the guy can't get past it. That a girl would be willing to do that for her to herself. The guy has to feel like, no, she's abused. It's not that simple, man. True that. True that. Appreciate you understanding that. One black dude's too. Again, you dumb little comments, dude. The fact is, I'm not even gonna get into it. We would call her a witch and burn her if she was a whore back in the day. What is Salem witch trials? What are you talking about? Love how somebody crashed when you asked him to simply post that proving all that. Oh yeah, I mean caveman wife guy. Yeah, that I'm glad you brought that up too. I forgot to mention that. So like I mentioned that he needed my help again the other day on a beef that's of his own doing, but like, and by the way, I don't need the truth of the matter. I mean, if I'm just being honest. I don't need to see phone screenshots, and I don't even need to see booking flights. In my mind, I already know Caveman Wife would get his ass kicked in that situation with that other guy. That's just my opinion. I'd put money on the other guy. Anyway, now that you brought this part up, so that was I at the end of that show, there was a moment that I kind of went off script with him a little bit. You know what I mean? And if you were there, Logan was there. He knows what I'm talking about. So the people that were there will know what I'm talking about. There was a moment there at the end of that stream with Caveman Wife where you could sense he was getting frustrated like he does because he's very mentally weak. For a guy that says he's on a higher plane of people, he's very easy to get upset and flustered and manipulate him. He's an easy brain. He's actually just a political puppet in his own right. He just has a far side agenda of help my people. We're being murdered. Let's murder the other people because we're being murdered. He's got that crybaby life mentality, right? Only his people are the condemned. Only his people are being murdered. Only his people are unjustified against. You know what I mean? Like, it's always a crybaby mantra that a person like him carries around with him when we already know he's hiding his own face from mugshots. He's covering up his own face out of shame from the mugshots that are out there. Point is, at the end of that stream, I saw him getting rage-baited and flustered. And there was a moment I went off script with him a little bit, and I said, dude, I hate to tell, not that I hate to tell him, but I didn't want to have to do it to him right there in that scenario, but I did it anyway because he was getting on my nerves. I said, you don't understand, dude. You've got a whole community of people that don't believe a goddamn word that comes out of your fucking mouth. They don't believe your stories. Everybody thinks you're a lying fucking retard. And when I told him that, I even gave him the chance. I said, I got an idea. Why don't we do a stream next time? I'll go live. I'll set a stream up for me and you. It'll just be me and you. And I'll have people hit up what they think is a lie about you, and you can address it, each lie, one by one. Even when I gave him that option, the guy crashed out. He couldn't deal with the idea of being held accountable for his lies and deceit. And he turned down the stream idea to do it. And that would have been his shot, to shoot a shot and say, okay, let's do it. I'll hit every lie that people got about me, and I'll give you why it's true. I'll give you facts. I'll give you knowledge. Didn't want to do it. To me, right there, his whole game ended. Right then and there. To me, his whole fraud, his whole con game ended. When he was given the shot to address each lie on a separate show, he wanted no part of that. Logan has not personally had... Well, there you go. You're another guy. I guess you're not as mentally weak as I thought then. Maybe you're not. What's wrong with early 2000 shows? Bad take. To be honest, man, people have complained about TV and movies since the 1950s. Do you not understand that a lot of this shit has all been done before? Do you not understand that people complained about Nazi shit in the 50s on movies? Why did you have that? People complained about women and I remember there was a whole thing, like, I guess in like, I don't know if it was like 1950s or 60s where like they had a woman wearing like not lingerie, but she was wearing like, it was an actress, and they threw a fit about that. That doesn't belong on TV. Like everybody always complains about the next evolvement of something that happens. Now it's like, because we've seen so much, it's hard to shock people anymore. But now it's got to be like, oh, the LGBTQ thing now. Now it's more about that. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like if a show comes out and it's called like, Gay Man Fucking Adventures. If I see that title, I already know I'm not going to watch that show. I already know, okay, I'm not, next week on TNT, it's the premiere of Gay Man Island. I'm not watching. It doesn't interest me. But for some reason, there'll be these groups of people that will watch and then get offended by it. Oh my God, I tuned into Gay Man Island and it was a bunch of gay guys. I got to go complain about this now. What did you think you were getting when you turned Gay Man Island on? What did you think it was going to be? You see what people do? They find something to get angry about. They make their way into the trouble. Because they want the trouble. They want the drama. They want the dialogue. They want the bullshit. They want the propaganda. They all want it in their head. Gives them something to bitch and complain about. It gives them something to tweet about. Something to, file some petition about. To report. People are bored in their head and they need something. Pushed it a little far, you say? Yeah, I mean, a few times. We were going to war because of Israel. I mean, okay, again, are you going to war? Are you signing up? What about you as a man? Are you going to war? It's always we are going, we are doing this. We ain't doing nothing. Think about yourself. Porn is destroying us. Us or you? Is it destroying you? Don't speak for everybody else. Remember, you felt bad for Caveman. I'm just going to skip over political shit that I don't care about. Caveman's wife for a little bit there. He probably thought you meant YouTuber. But I already told that story, though. The thing about it was, for me, the day that happened, where it came out and they were making fun of it all day, and they were isolating her look, specifically her looks. To me, I tried to say to myself, well, okay, clearly the dude got himself into that predicament anyway, because he's going around mentioning the chick all the time. My wife, so hot, blah, blah, blah. She looks like Angelina Jolie, and she's a world champion kickboxer, and she, blah, 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 blah. She's a sex machine. You know what I mean? He's going around with his fucking propaganda, right? His nonsense. And what he's doing is he's getting himself into the fucking deep waters of the fucking pool. That dude is the guy that jumps in headfirst into the deep end and he drowns. You've got to throw him a life preserver to help him. And that's what I was trying to do. Here's a life preserver. Instead of me going live and making fun of your wife and going along with what everybody's saying today, I'm going to throw you a life preserver. I'm going to go on there and I'm going to say I think they went too far with it and then she's not involved. I went out of my way to help that guy that day. And when I went on there, he comes on and he's laughing. He's smiling. He's giggling about it. And it was in that moment I knew true evil. And I'll tell you why I knew behind those shit eyes that true evil that was in him. The reason he was smiling and laughing when I was trying to defend her is because he knew what they were saying about her was real. And he knows he's manipulating that woman over there in that apartment in Colorado. He is using that woman for a place to live and for a place to stay. And the evil came out of him because he didn't even defend her look. I had to do it for him. The only time he got mad was when another guy was on the panel that he said gets pegged. And that's all he could focus on was that. That guy's gay. Get him out of here. Get him out. He got more mad about that than about anything to do with that woman that he's manipulating over there in Denver. And to me, that's true evil. But I spotted it, and that's why I kind of started walking it back on that stream saying, you know, now that I think about it, this guy is manipulating this woman, and I'm not going to have his back about it anymore, and I kind of walked it back. And anybody that's in this community, they all have a bad feeling about what goes on over there on the West Coast. A lot of people are saying it publicly. I didn't say it publicly because I didn't want to go to those levels, but the reality is I don't think she's captive, but there are people that think that woman is mentally ill and she's being manipulated over there. If you go watch, you can tell there's something wrong with her. She can barely speak. When he tried to speak to her, she was grunting. She couldn't even talk. You know, it was like, you know, and the thing is, I don't know. I mean, what do you make of that? What do you make of a situation like that? It's an ugly situation. You know, and I tried to stay clear of talking about her looks because I was like, she's irrelevant to me. Like, I saw her. I'll swear on every God that has ever lived, if she was the last woman alive, I wouldn't get with her. I saw what she looks like. I would rather jerk off. I would pass her up. If I was on a isolated planet, it was just me and her, I would refuse sex with her. But yet, that's the one he's over there saying that is the most beautiful, you know, and you know true evil when you hear that. That would be a 60-hour marathon for him to drag. Well, there you go. Maybe it would be. I don't know. Point is, I was going to give him a show to do it, kind of hit each lie and hit head on. He was refused. Clown, you are literally a bad... Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You're a bad person if you don't like him. I guess I'm a bad person then.